All right, testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Alright guys, welcome back to another stream. Today we're going to be playing some Famicom Disk System stuff, specifically Dracula II, also known as Castlevania II, Simon's Quest in North America. Finally got Famicom Disk System stuff working on my Power Pack and AVS system combination. So, probably over the next year or so, I want to definitely dabble with a couple of Famicom Disk games, specifically Castlevania II. I do want to try to tackle The Legend of Zelda 2, which has some difficulty differences and some animation differences and some sound differences. Maybe Metroid or something like that down the road. Lots of interesting stuff here because the Famicom Disk System had some extra sound channels, and so games that came out on the Disk System in Japan that were released on cartridge later on in Japan or cartridge in North America typically sound pretty different from the North American versions in particular. So that's one reason why we're playing Castlevania II tonight, the Japanese version. It sounds vastly different with its soundtrack. I think there are a couple of other just very tiny minor differences we might catch along the way, but the big differences come in the form of the soundtrack. So should be a good time tonight. I don't predict this being a very long stream. I actually ran through this on Twitch the other night and did get the best ending, and so that probably took about an hour and a half to do. So I don't predict the stream being really any longer than that. So for those of you guys that have wanted to see the Japanese Castlevania 2, though, here you go for the Famicom Disk System. So, yeah, it should be a good time. The title screen is different than the North American version as well, which is pretty cool. And that is actually a load screen right there. So, remember, this was a actual physical disc medium back in the day. So, load times were a thing on this. Well, yeah, pretty cool stuff here. Really glad I got this stuff working. So, yeah, like I said again, there will be some games for the Famicom Disk System I want to try playing on my channel here with, in the next year or so. So, we'll try to mix things up and do them on and off every now and then. But really glad I went through this one the other day on Twitch because, yeah, it's one I've always wanted to try because of the different soundtrack. So, but yeah, so welcome everybody to the stream. Thanks for hanging out. Got some unusual faces in here tonight, like Games Bloke. Haven't seen you around in a while, so good to see you, man. Welcome back. We've got Chris Bennett, we've got Chris Hendricks, and Jay Noyes, and Dissonance. Welcome back, Dissonance. Luke Logan says, can't believe I'm catching you live. It's been months. Well, welcome to the stream, and we had Pal Puck back, who was here on Thursday night, actually. Akella, Red, unfortunately can't make the stream. Leo Ames, as always. John Smith, Crestline, Iceberg, welcome, guys, to the stream. Office at the top of the line. Look at Office, first one in the chat earlier. I don't even know if he's still out there. Hey, Jose Pena, how are you doing, man? Long time no see. I am Weasel 2112. I'm only here for a couple of minutes. The Bonker Gamer is back. So, yeah, All right, guys. Well, welcome back to the stream. So, before we kick things off, as usual, I'd like to give a big shout out to all the current patrons. So, thanks everyone that is continuing to support my channel via Patreon. Big shout out to Deskawa. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but he actually backed the channel earlier this week, so thank you very much. Much appreciated. If anyone's interested in getting my Let's Plays early, and you can check the links in the description box below to consider supporting via Patreon. Thanks to everyone that's been doing super chats as well. Big shout out to Jeff Smith in particular. He's actually done multiple super chats in the last few weeks, kind of like Society of Sin, so thank you guys for that, and thanks to everyone else that has donated directly as well. Also, thanks to the live stream channel members. If you want to get some funky emotes and get some custom badges by your name, much like Jay there in chat, you can consider supporting via YouTube in their channel membership program. So thank you guys that are continuing to do that. All right, so let's go ahead and hit the start button here. And so disk system games oftentimes would save your data, and so a lot of games that didn't have save support in North America would have save support in Japan. So yeah, we get to type in our name here, and as always, I'll go with the YouTube. Assuming it fits. It might not fit. I don't know how many letters or characters we can use here. But yeah, the soundtrack is just, it sounds totally different from the North American one. I don't think it's better. I actually think the North American soundtrack overall is actually, to me, it sounds better. It's more moody in some cases. It's beefier. But it is really interesting hearing these compositions with the extra sound channels and whatnot. It's just totally different. It's very cool. It's, as a, you know, a big Castlevania fan and a Castlevania II fan, it's just awesome to hear. So let's go ahead and start. I like how it also tracks what day you're on and whatnot. So you do get different endings in this game. You do get different endings in this game based on the amount of time it takes you to go through the game. So it's cool that it actually tracks that for you on that save file. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna be trying to work my way through this game as quickly as possible. So we're just gonna move on over to the right here once we get into it, and there we go. So what I want to do is get 3 things here in this first town. The first thing I want to get is the white crystal or the holy water. It doesn't really matter which one I get. I'm going to have to get them all anyway, but since it's here, I'm going to get the white crystal. And there we go. We're going to eventually trade this out for a blue crystal and then a red crystal. Castlevania II, for those of you guys that haven't played it, it is a, you can call it kind of an action RPG, in that hearts are actually experience points in this game. They're money and experience points. Over the course of the game, you'll actually see my character level up, his life bar will get bigger, and the game is also non-linear. You can pretty much go any way you want, although there is an optimal path to go, and I'm going to take what is, in my opinion, the optimal path. So in the beginning here, what we're going to do is just grind out for hearts, just like so, and what I'd like to do is get 50 and then go buy the holy water. And then it should turn to night, and then I'm going to grind out for more hearts in the town itself, so I can buy myself the Thorn Whip. At least in the North American version, it's a Thorn Whip. I'm not really sure what it is in the Japanese version. But it's a more powerful basic whip. It looks a lot like your leather whip here, but it is actually longer as well, so it'll actually be a little bit easier to hit enemies. So not only is it easier to hit enemies, but it, you know, the range is longer, so it is preferred to start off with that in the beginning of the game. And there we go, it's nighttime already. Does the AVS Power Pack emulate the disk system, disk access pauses? I'm not sure. I mean, it definitely emulates the load times, but I don't know if it emulates them accurately. I'm gonna guess it probably speeds them up, because the load times really aren't bad at all. I've never actually used an actual Famicom Disk System, although I've really wanted to over the years. Although I'm not sure if it's something I'm gonna buy, because after diving into the Famicom Disk Library these last couple of days, I'm finding that it's actually a little lackluster. It's one of those things that was only supported for kind of a short time. And so the coolest thing about the Disk System is the games that we're already familiar with, and just kind of seeing their differences with the extra sound channels and whatnot, along with maybe some, you know, some other things. Like Zelda 2, for instance, has animated water, whereas it doesn't in the cartridge North American version. So yeah, we're just grinding out on these guys in this town. Unfortunately, they're not really dropping a lot of hearts, which is kind of a bummer, so grinding is going to take a little bit longer than I would like. What are we up to so far? So we're up to 66 hearts. I need, I think, at least 150, and I think each of those hearts gives me 4. So half hearts give you 4, full hearts give you 6 later on in the game. We'll see those later on. And, yeah. So this game has a day and night cycle, for those of you guys not familiar with the game. I think most of you watching are probably already familiar with this game. I mean, it is a fairly well-known game, especially among NES fans. But for those of you guys unfamiliar with it, yeah, you grind out for hearts. You get, the hearts are money, and they're also experience points. And you get small hearts, which are worth 2 hearts. You get half hearts, which are worth 4, and then you get big hearts, which are worth 6. You know, and I'm starting to think I probably should have just grinded out in the forest, because it's easier to just constantly spawn in enemies over there in the forest. But we'll just kind of make do. Do wish these guys would drop hearts more often, because I am trying to go for the best ending, and I do want, you know, I do want to have the smoothest run possible. It doesn't really matter how many times I die or whatever, as long as I don't lose all my hearts at inopportune times. Shouldn't really be a big deal. So we're at 110 right now, and we might have to actually go back out into the forest to grind out some more after this, because these guys aren't dropping hearts very quickly. There we go. And after this, I'm going to go inside that church as well to get my health back. So in the early parts of the game in particular, you do take a good bit of damage from enemies when you take hits. So it's good to be near churches as well. Again, I don't really care about dying unless, you know, unless I'm trying to grind out for like a specific weapon or something like that. And how many hearts do we have? 134. Yeah, we still have to grind out a little bit. So let's go ahead and just come on in here first and talk to this guy. Hey, Brandon, welcome back. And we got Cabal, and that's the Holy Water, so we'll go ahead and take the Holy Water, and let's go ahead and equip the Holy Water and the Crystal. So I'm pretty sure I need $100 for the whip, so let me come out here and grind out on a couple more guys. Alright, 92. I just need a couple more. That should be 94, 96. There we go. We've gotten our first level up. 98, and just one more. Is that going to do it? That's going to do it. Alright, let's go get that Thorn Whip. Grinch says I'm one of the most convenient distractions he's ever known. Well, thanks, Grinch. I am glad I am just that to you. A distraction. Alright, let's come on over here. This should be where the whip is. Gamesbloke, honestly, man, you really didn't miss much, because a lot of people didn't really understand the system. You know, it was a lot of console gamers that just really didn't get it. They're like, God, man, everything's so slow. This looks like crap. Blah. It's like, you know, I'm not the most thrilled about the system either, because, you know, it's a lot of the stuff is kind of hard to go back to in 2019. A lot of the stuff I like to play anyway. I know there are more like adventure-oriented titles and simulation games and, you know, point-and-click stuff that works a lot better on the system that I'm just not really that into right now. But we mostly showed off action games, and a lot of people weren't really impressed by it. But, you know, I didn't have many viewers that, you know, grew up with that type of stuff back in the day, and as such, they don't really understand, like, what the history was like with those things, what gaming on them was like back in the day, and, you know, there wasn't much respect given to the platform, unfortunately, so, yeah, you didn't really miss much, but, you know, the archive is there, at least, if you do want to check it out in the future, assuming you haven't checked it out already. I probably won't do any more streams like that, because it just seems like most of my viewer base just is very console-centric. And, you know, I'm still gonna, like, persevere with stuff like MS-DOS games and whatnot, because that's what I personally grew up with. And I know I do have a bunch of PC gamers following me here, but as far as, like, you know, Atari ST, Amiga, Commodore 64, stuff like that, I'm not really sure if I'm gonna bother covering that stuff again. But I still had fun with the stream. I was tired, but I'm glad I was able to show off that stuff at least. So, you know, I've had the ST for a while now, and so it was definitely nice being able to show it off. Alright, so this is our first mansion, and so what we need to do here is buy ourselves an oak stake, and then we have to destroy an orb at the end of the mansion to get one of Dracula's body parts. And so there are 5 mansions in the game, with 5 body parts that you need to get. And a couple of the body parts actually are really helpful. One will actually take us to a mansion, sort of a hidden mansion, and then another will act as a shield. So this first one we're going to get here is going to act as a shield for us. And the oak stakes cost 50 bucks, and there we go. So there are some illusory floors and walls as well, so you've got to watch out for those. You can actually use holy water to figure out where they are. Also, you'll notice that, for those of you guys familiar with the American one, the holy water makes a sound when it hits the ground. It doesn't do that in this one. So I found that to be kind of interesting. The holy water sound could probably be a little grating, depending on your, you know, your tastes. So that could actually be a benefit for some players. What Jay said, thanks for showing Castlevania MS-DOS. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for checking that out, guys. That, you know, my videos don't get, like, crazy views or anything like that, but that was definitely my most popular Let's Play in a long time. You know, I got a lot of comments over this last week on it, which was really cool. So thanks, guys, for checking that out. So there we go. We got the oak stake, and just like in the American version, you can find hints, although since it's all in Japanese, it doesn't really do us a whole lot of good. This is the kind of version of the game you want to play if you're already familiar with the game. I don't recommend jumping into this for the first time if you've never played Castlevania II. Office says DOS Castlevania is best Castlevania. Yeah, MS-DOS Castlevania, it's a pretty awful game, honestly. You know, it's not great, but, you know, as a huge Castlevania fan, it's great to be able to show it off. So I do appreciate you guys checking that out. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Alright, so let's select our oak stake. We just throw it right at this. And I actually didn't want to... No, falling down here is fine. It doesn't really matter. Alright, so I've got my shield now. So for enemies that shoot projectiles, I can go ahead and block their projectiles, which is cool. Now, I think there's pretty much nothing over here, which is kind of interesting. I never quite understood this area. It's just kind of nothing, so... And I died! Fantastic. But it's okay. Like I said, I'm not worried about dying as long as, like, I don't lose all my hearts. And you only lose all your hearts upon death when you get a game over. So, really not too worried about that. These jumps right here are very, very tight in Castlevania 2. They're actually tighter than they are in Castlevania 1 or 3. Actually, I don't know if there are any sort of diagonal jumps like that are mandatory in Castlevania 1, but there are some in Castlevania 3 that are very, very tight. And we've got 66 hearts. So we're gonna go ahead and just keep grinding out on these guys. Mortal Kombat Trilogy next, please. No thanks, I'm good. I don't need to play that game. Sorry. Yeah, no, just not. I haven't really been into, like, the Mortal Kombats lately. Like, I've tried going back and doing Let's Plays of various ones, but I don't know. The AI is so trashy in those games. It's just not fun to play them, honestly. They're much more fun for me when I have actual people to play them with, and unfortunately, I don't have any friends. So, so no Mortal Kombat on the channel for a while, most likely. I might do like a Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis fighting game stream or something like that. I definitely want to do that, just to show off a bunch of different fighters. But yeah, don't expect like PS1 MK Trilogy or anything like that, or even Sega Saturn MK Trilogy. Joseph says Mortal Kombat 2 was the last one he really liked. A Star Wars gaming month? No thanks. I'll get copyright claim to hell with Star Wars. Or I'll have to selectively mute like half the game, which is just annoying. Yeah, if I do any Star Wars games, it's probably going to be like the, you know, the 16-bit or 8-bit games, but, you know, once I get into like the N64 era where, you know, the Star Wars theme is, you know, sounds just like the movies, I'll get copyright claims on that stuff, so, yeah, not really a fan of that. I did a 32X stream a couple years ago, played Star Wars Arcade, and got a copyright claim on the Star Wars theme that plays in the beginning. Just the 32X version, which is kind of like, it's not the best sampled version that you can hear. I got a copyright claim on that. It's like, I can't imagine what I would get if I played like Shadows of the Empire, or if I did, you know, some of the other newer Star Wars games. Alright, so I've got a lot of cash here, so I'm good there. So let's just go ahead and keep moving. I had thought about looping around to get the oak steak again, and it doesn't matter. I'm not going to bother with it. So let's go ahead and just exit out now. And then we're going to go ahead and just keep moving on to the right. And one thing that's also really cool is that one thing that's really cool is that when you go inside a mansion, time actually stops. And it's not just mansions, it's if you go into any building in this game, time stops. And time also stops when you pause the game too. So, you know, if you need to take a bathroom break or something while you're playing this game, you could just bring up the pause menu, and you'll stop your time. So if you're trying to get the best ending, you definitely want to be aware of, you know, what stops time and what doesn't, so. Super Mario Brothers ROM hack stream? That would actually be cool. Yeah, I actually do want to do that, actually. I've got that on my list of things to do. One of my old friends on YouTube, Kilgras, sorry. He actually has been doing a lot of hack stuff these last couple of years on his channel, and it's actually kind of motivated me to check out some hacks myself, and it's something I've been doing lately. So, you know, once I get a decent amount of hacks to try out, then I will definitely do a stream. So yeah, you guys can expect to see something like that in the future. Alright, so we just got the flame. This guy right here is a decent little sub-weapon, but it does use up hearts. And let's just kind of skip these guys. So at nighttime, enemies do get beefier too. They do get stronger. So, you know, they take multiple hits now. And this is not good. This is exactly what happened last time I played this, by the way, is like I just got kind of wrecked by some of the enemies in the forest here. There we go. And that might be it. Okay, good. Whew, still have another life. I was worried I was going to lose all my hearts again. Because we did actually grind out for hearts there. And what are we at? We're at 22. Yeah, we still got a little bit of time before it goes back to daytime. And I bet you 20 bucks I'm gonna level up soon too. Because we've grinded out for so many hearts. Alright, and I don't recall there being anything really important in this town, so we can just skip right past it. And we could just jump over these guys. I don't really need to grind out here. Actually, no, I do actually need to do something in this town. There's the guy that gives me the blue crystal. So we actually have to go back there. So let's come here, and I don't even have garlic yet. I don't have garlic yet. Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't even need to do that. There are some things I like to do in this game just for completion's sake. Like you can drop garlic on those hands, and they give you a guy appears and gives you a dagger. The dagger's not really very good. It's really slow. You're better off just using your whip. I don't understand Japanese, but I already know how to play Castlevania II, so it doesn't really matter if it's in English or not. So I'm just gonna sit here, let the time out. Let's see. Oh man, Super Mario Kaizo stuff will be a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, maybe, man. Maybe. We'll see. All right. Carlos is more into the Killer Instinct games. See, I like most of the fighting games from that time period, at least the popular ones. I don't really have preferences, so to say, for the most part. You know, I love the early Mortal Kombats, I love Killer Instinct, I love Primal Rage, I love the Street Fighters, I like some of the Neo Geo ones. But Mortal Kombat in particular, like doing it on stream, it's, and there we go. So we got the blue crystal now. It's just not as fun for me because of, you know, the AI in that game. It's just brutal. When it comes to just playing fighting games kind of by myself or trying to do like a Let's Play or something, I think the Street Fighter games are the best because they're not anywhere near as challenging on the default difficulty levels. They're a lot more fair. And, so I've got a couple Street Fighter Let's Plays, like, I think Street Fighter II on Super Nintendo, Street Fighter Alpha 3 on PS1, and then Street Fighter Alpha 2 on Super Nintendo. We need another Super Mario Maker stream one of these days. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I don't think the first one I did was all that popular, so, but I love the game. I definitely would like to do that again. I don't know, the thing about Mario Maker is that a lot of the levels uploaded aren't very good, in my opinion. It's a lot of, like, races and stuff like that, and just stuff that's kind of annoying, to be honest with you. Okay, so I got the blue crystal, and now what I need to do is actually go down. So we need to come back to the left, and let's just see what's in here, just for grins. And nothing. There is that Dissonance, yeah. Jeez, okay. Whew, I was gonna say nighttime already. Yeah, no, that actually really annoyed me. I did show off my levels on my previous Mario Maker stream, and yeah, most of them they took down because I guess they were too hard. So I went ahead and grabbed some garlic, even though I don't really need it. So we might as well just go back and get that dagger while we're at it. Why not, right? Yeah, but I was very, very annoyed with Nintendo on that, because I wanted to see if anyone would stumble upon the levels and actually persevere and actually get through them, because they are beatable. You know, I had to beat the levels to upload them. And I wasn't, like, what a lot of people do when they make hard levels is, hard Mario Maker levels, is they put in some kind of, like, easy warp to the end, just so they could get the level uploaded. And there we go, so we've got the knife now. Actually, this one, I believe, actually uses hearts. So it's actually a little bit better than the other knife that you get, but it's still not, it's not worth it. You know, you waste hearts using it. But just for completion's sake, I like to get it. So we actually probably will miss the silk bag. I think that's one of the only items we probably won't get in this playthrough. But yeah, let's come on back here. Have you tried Castlevania that plays like Doom? I actually did a live stream of it a year ago in October. It's called Castlevania Simon's Destiny. So I have a full playthrough of that on my channel here as a live stream from last year. Crystal, you are spamming the chat. It would be great if you did not spam the chat. That would be fantastic. But keep talking. Spam bad. Normal talk good. Carlos says Nintendo gives you something nice with one hand and then takes something else from you with the other. It is, yeah, basically, Carlos. Yeah, basically. You know, yeah, whatever. It is what it is. The Wii U's dead anyway. No one cares about it. I wonder if people are still making levels for Mario Maker. Alright, so now we need to equip the blue crystal, duck by the lake here. Alright, and mansion time. Mansion number 2. So this should actually give us, I think, Dracula's heart. Yeah, it should give us Dracula's heart. And then we can use Dracula's heart to get to the third mansion. Hey Elvaz, welcome back. Good to see you. And let's see if we can get past these spikes up top here without any issues. Yeah, what I should have done is actually used one of my there go all my hearts. Oh well. Why would they delete your levels? Because they were too hard? Yeah, it's a good question, Chris. They don't give you a reason. They don't give you a reason why they blow away your levels. It doesn't make any sense. So, I'm guessing it's probably just because so few people played them. And so few people probably played them because they were hard. Although, them being hard was the point, though. You know, that's kind of what's annoying about it. It's like, the point was to be hard. And to give people, like, a real legitimate challenge. And to challenge myself, because, you know, I make levels that, like, I find fun to play. Maybe not everyone else will find them fun. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You can bust open 3 of those? I hope those respawn. Let's move over to the right here, see if they respawn. We might have to actually redo this place. Go back outside and then come back in. Again, fortunately, you know, time stops here in the mansions. So, yeah, we might have to go back outside. Let's walk all the way over here. I don't think there's any way for me to make that jump, unfortunately. Okay, one of the blocks did spawn back in. Oh wait, no. I'm thinking of the wrong one. Oh wow, just barely. Hey Steven, thanks for that super chat, man. I appreciate it. Alright, so we can go through here. Hey, MD Mister. Alright, and we're out of money, actually. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get any more money here, but I do have to come here to get the oak steak. So I think I can just grind out on this guy over and over, hopefully. So the oak steak is down below. And again, you need one of these for every single mansion. So you need to buy 5 oak steaks. Alright, Crystal, cut it out, seriously. I'm kind of getting tired of your stuff. This is a friendly warning. Friendly warning, Crystal. Alright, let's see if we can just fall straight down here, and no. It doesn't work like that. Cabal's excited. He just ordered his first... Sorry, I'm getting my ass kicked here. You just ordered your first Square One puzzle yesterday. What is Square One puzzle? I did, DOA. Thanks for the comment. I appreciate it. I see a lot of comments. I don't always respond to them, though. Is this on Twitch too? It is not on Twitch too. When I stream to YouTube, I only stream to YouTube. And actually, because I'm a Twitch affiliate, I can't stream to both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. It's against the Twitch terms of service. I do want to grind out for hearts, though. I think it's going to be easiest for me to just get 50 bucks here, buy another oak steak after I use this one, because it's kind of on the way back out. So I'm going to grind out a little bit right here just to get that $50. I should actually just grind on the way back out. Let's go do that. It's like a weird type of Rubik's Cube. Okay, gotcha. More tips that I don't need. Let's see, 18 bucks. And we'll just fall down here. Alright, so what do you get? Yeah, we got Dracula's heart. So let's go ahead and go back to Holy Water. So the other idea is to get enough money to buy the chain whip, because we're going to be looping back around, and one of the towns on the way back around is going to have the chain whip. And then a couple of towns after that, we're going to get ourselves the Morningstar, and then the Morningstar will transform into the flame whip, and then our whip upgrade chain will be complete. You want to play this on your phone? Hey, man, if you got a decent controller wired up, you know, I know there's some cool Bluetooth controllers out there, then go for it, man. I don't think I could bring myself to play this on a touchscreen, though. Man, there's nothing wrong with emulation, man. Emulation's great. Elvaz needed Nintendo Power to beat this game. Yeah, most of us did as a kid. As kids, I mean. Alright, 78 hearts. So again, I wanted to get the oak stake, but I also want to get enough money for the chain whip. And we have 1 life. Oh man, the grind is real. Carlos was gonna play some SNES emulation right before the stream started. $146. Alright, that should be good enough. Yeah, we just go back down to the bottom. Got to level up, so I got my health back, thankfully. I have tried Xeno Crisis. I don't like it very much, honestly. Granted, I haven't passed the first level yet, but so far I'm not a fan of many of its design choices. I know a lot of people are raving about it right now, but I just can't get behind it. I do plan on putting some extra time into it soon-ish, but yeah, not super thrilled about it right now. Alright, so we got another oak stake, and we can just work our way out. That answers... So is it because I don't like it you want to check it out? Is it that, you know, I don't know, man. I would watch some videos, man. I mean, granted, I haven't gotten that far into it, but I do think people are hyping it up to be something way more than it actually is. People are like, oh my god, they're tapping the hardware so crazy. I haven't seen anything like this before in the Genesis. Whoa! And I'm just like, you've clearly never played the Sega Genesis. It's cool, but like, it's not anything special. Not anything that hasn't been done back in the day anyway. But I don't know, man. I'm just... It's got a lot of Euro design elements that, I mean, you guys kind of know how I feel about some of that stuff. Like, limited ammunition in a fast-paced action game, big no-no. Fully randomized levels, so it's, you know, no levels the same ever again. So there's no consistency. You know, the type of game that it is just does not map well to the Genesis controller, for one, which makes controlling it very, very frustrating. There are a whole lot of issues like that, man. You don't even get points in the Genesis version of the game, you know, but for some reason on the modern console versions you do. I don't know, man. Yeah, so it's like, for one, it's not a good score game. It's got a lot of really annoying elements that doesn't work well for the kind of twin-stick shooter that it is. Your character movement is also way too fast, in my opinion. So, like, doing fine-tuned dodging is kind of, well, there's not much of it. They really want you to dodge roll, which is really awkward as well. So some people are gonna like the game a lot. Yeah, like I said, I don't. So, but that's the end of that. I don't really want to talk about Xenocrisis anymore. I've complained enough. I think I've used up my complaint quota already for this stream. I can only complain so much, and then people start to leave negative comments about how I complain all the time. So. Carlos is going for his dinner. Do a little jig, Simon. Alright, see ya, Jay, if you're still out there. We're already close to halfway through the game, by the way, for anyone curious. So, like I said, this wasn't going to be a very long stream. We probably have another hour to go at least, I'm guessing. That's right, he's working the glutes. There we go. So Leo, if you want to play it on the Genesis, what you want is one of the 8-bit do controllers with the shoulder keys. So you can map things like grenade and dodge roll to the shoulder keys. But I'm not buying an 8-bit do controller just to make that game play well. It's just no. So there we go. We got the chain whip. Yeah, let's go ahead and get some health back. Not that we have a whole lot of health lost, but since we're here, we might as well. We don't really lose any time doing it. And let's go ahead and pop in here. I don't think it's anything important either, but let's try. How much money? 62? And that's the dagger. The low-level dagger. So there we go. Very short range, not very powerful, not really worth it. But it is infinite, just like the holy water. It doesn't use any money. You own an M30 that you got with your Mega SG, so you'll have to give it a try after tracking down the ROM. Yeah, you're thinking about going PS4 because of the sticks. Yeah, PS4 is probably the better way to go, man. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. If you're gonna play the game, I definitely think modern console is probably the way to go. It's basically the same game from what I've seen. Graphically and sound-wise, it's almost like they're just emulating the ROM. I don't know how they did it, if it is just simple emulation or if they actually ported it, but you're not really missing much in terms of audio and sound or... And that's actually kind of unfortunate. I was hoping the console versions would have more modernized audio, more like improved visuals and whatnot, and definitely improved visual effects, but it doesn't. It's pretty much identical, which is kind of disappointing. It's very disappointing for like a $20 modern console release, if you ask me. It's not like Blazing Chrome that just has like a ton of work put into it. I mean, wow. I mean, Xenocrisis probably had a ton of work put into it too, but I mean, something like Blazing Chrome, like, fits the price tag, if you ask me. Xenocrisis, on the other hand, not really. I don't know. 20 bucks? For the modern system version. I would just expect the modern versions to be enhanced in some way, but they're really not. Score is, like, I think the only difference I've seen. So, we've already determined it's not a good scoring game because it's completely random. So, I digress, man. Conspiracy theory on Genesis port. Do you think they made the control scheme that way to sell the 8-bit 2 controllers? Probably not, no. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, definitely taking advantage of this shield, though, on these guys. You got some wolves. Or panthers, or dogs, or... I have no idea. Alright, so I did buy some laurels, so I can go ahead and use those too. So we press up and attack to use those, kind of classic Castlevania style. Office loves him, the 8-bit dude controller. Alright, so we want to equip the heart, and then the ferryman here will take us to a different route. And this will, whew, that was close. Take us to the next mansion that we need to go to. So you kind of want to do it in this order. And you want to do all the stuff on the right-hand side of the world first. And then you get the heart, use the heart, take care of this mansion right away. And then go to the rest of the game. I think that's key to getting the best ending in the game. You know, spending the least amount of time in the game. Blazing Chrome, you rage quit a week ago. It's on Xbox Game Pass, figure you would rattle through it. Clearly rubbish at Contra style. Yeah, I mean, there's memorization involved, Games Bloke. But man, it's such a good game when you get it down. It's very satisfying. I did a live stream of it a few months ago. And, yeah, really fun gameplay, really great soundtrack, great visuals and whatnot. It definitely looks more like a 32-bit era game. Like, you know, it's got... you know, Genesis and Mega Drive elements, but with the animation and scaling and rotation and all that stuff, it definitely looks more like a PlayStation Saturn era game, which is awesome. I love that era of 2D. But there also weren't, like, stupid design choices in that game. You didn't have, like, limited ammo and stuff like that on your guns and whatnot. It's just, you know, it's very much paying homage to Contra 3 and Contra Hardcore. So, yeah, very fun game. You wanted to play with the ninja character really badly. Yeah, man, you just need to take your time with it. You need to take your time and learn the patterns. That's it. Just keep going at it. Don't rage quit. It's an awesome game. I don't think it took me that long to learn it either. Like, it took me like a night or two. It really wasn't that bad. Okay, would you stop jumping over me, please? Thank you. Dissonance only ever finished the original Contra. Blazing Chrome, to me, Dissonance, I think it's actually easier than, oops. Didn't mean to do that. I think Blazing Chrome is actually a little bit easier than some of the original Contras. Like, at least to learn, I think it was easier. They give you more, like, advantageous power-ups, for instance. You know, like, you can just use your regular weapons and then get the, there's a power-up that gives you, like, a shield. So you get 1 free hit or 2 free hits or whatever. So, like, just use that all the time as a, sort of like a buffer. And I don't know if this guy gives me the oak steak. Let's see. Yeah, he does. So I don't want it. I already have it. This is true, Dissonance. I mean... Yeah, I don't know, man. I do feel like if people focused more, it wouldn't take them so long to learn games. But I think a lot of people kind of like bang their heads against the wall like I used to when I was younger. And just not really think about what I was doing. So if people kind of step back and actually kind of think about what they're doing, it might not take them so long to, you know, get decent at the game. Let's actually use one of my laurels. Because I find that I'm a little underpowered here. I don't know if that's a difference from the North American version, but normally when I play Castlevania II, I always forget about this this mansion, and so by the time I get here, I've already got the Flame Whip or the Morningstar. So I don't normally come here with the Chain Whip. If you come here with the Chain Whip, I think Death is more challenging than he normally is for a lot of people. Gary, don't rest on your laurels. And Death just comes right back. So see ya, Death. Games Bloke. That's an old video, man. That was like a 2012 Let's Play. That was... I think that was my first Let's Play. Yeah, Daimak Imira for PCFX. Not PCFX, Super Graphics. PC Engine Super Graphics. $96, so I can go ahead and buy another steak while I'm here. Ow. Yep, yeah, my first playthrough of this was 2 videos, yep. That was a long time ago, too. That was 2013, I believe. Yeah, I did a Castlevania marathon in 2013. I did a bunch of Castlevania games. There's also another hint book down here for anyone that was curious. That is pretty cheap, and that's probably all my money. Yeah. But I think I bought the oak steak already, so I'm okay. Again, dying doesn't really have a difference on the ending as far as I'm aware, so... We're still at 3 days right now. You've got to beat the game in under 7 days. And I've already got the oak steak, so I'm feeling pretty good there. Yeah, 2013 was a long time ago, man. 6 years ago. Soon to be 7. Yeah, and I've been doing this for a long time too, man. Let's Plays I've been doing for 7 years now. 7, close to 8. And then long plays I've been doing for 8 years. Close to 9. Flame Whip's actually not in a dungeon. It's actually just out in the open world. Alright, so let me actually go down these stairs. But yeah, 2 towns from now we will get the Morningstar. The next town we're going to exchange our blue crystal for a red one. And I'm actually thinking I should probably just grind out for hearts here. Because again, like, it's all about the time. Hey, Game Eagle, how are you doing? Welcome back. Wait, what? You got into an argument with this dude at work. No, this is not Konami's take on Zelda 2. Then you thought about it a bit. I'm pretty sure this came out before Zelda 2, though. Wasn't I mean, when did Zelda 2 come out in Japan? See, now I'm curious. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if some of these companies, you know, took influence from one another. But I do know that during this time period, they were definitely trying to do a bunch of different things. You know, they were trying to experiment and not just do the same thing over and over, which was really cool. So you gotta, you know, tip your hat to that at the very least. Konami could have, you know, very well just put together another linear Castlevania game, just like the first one. You know, a more arcade-style, linear experience. But they went and did something different here. It's pretty cool. Same with Zelda 2. You know, Legend of Zelda Part 1 was just, you know, it was a new thing. And so they were like, they weren't really sure what they wanted to do with it. Did they want to do another one that's just like the first one? Or do something different? So they went with something different, and I think it worked out. You know, it's not something everyone likes, but I'm glad it exists. You know, we don't have a glut of early Zeldas that all play the same way. You know, and then by the time they came out with Link to the Past, it felt refreshing going back to the old formula, but much more refined because, you know, Super Nintendo. Castlevania 2 came out 8 months after Zelda 2. I mean, I'm talking Japanese versions, Game Eagle, not American versions. Zelda 2 doesn't seem nearly as grindy as this? You haven't played Zelda 2 then. It can be. I mean, the grinding I'm doing right now is optional. I don't have to grind. The reason I'm doing it like this, though, is so I'm not burning up time outside. So when you're inside a mansion like this, you don't lose, like, the timer stops. Like, the day-night cycle stops completely. So if you want to get the best ending, it's most efficient to just sit in a mansion and just grind over and over. Yeah, no, I mean, if you want your life to be made easier in Zelda 2, you definitely want to grind out in that game. And there's quite a bit of it. So what I need to do is I need to patch the image I have, my copy of Zelda 2. And then once I get that working, we'll do another Zelda 2 stream, but the Famicom Disk System version. How much money do I have? 170? Okay, I'm good. I can actually progress. Alright, so let's go ahead and just come back down here. You respect Zelda 2 more than Link to the Past? Yeah, I don't know. Personally, like, I just respect both evenly. I don't really feel like I need to respect one more than the other. If you know what I mean. I don't really need to pick sides. I mean, I think they're both great games. Link to the Past, I think, is kind of like, I don't know, man. I think it's a much better game overall. But I still love Zelda 2. I mean, I grew up with that game, so lots of nostalgia for Zelda 2, but it's still you know, what I like about it is I really love the physics in that game and just how it feels. It feels very smooth. And it's nighttime. Great, nighttime already. Completing level temples tops off your levels. Yeah, absolutely. But there are a lot of levels you need to make in that game to upgrade all of your stats to what level? Is it 6 or 7 or something like that? Or 8? I don't remember. And then if you're playing the Japanese version of the game, if you get a game over, all your levels reset back down to whatever your lowest level is. So he just gave me a crystal, which is another item, another offensive item. Not the most useful thing in the world. One of the things I don't like about Castlevania II is kind of how useless a lot of the sub-weapons are. Or kind of redundant, I should say. You know, like you would think this projectile would just like really just mow through enemies, but no, it's actually kind of weak. It goes right through them. You're better off just like timing your whips, you know. Alright, see ya, Chris. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit, man. So these blocks are a little weird too. You have to jump as they're going up, otherwise you'll just do a regular jump. So you gotta make sure you jump before they hit their apex. Otherwise you'll end up just doing a regular jump and drowning. So, very tricky to deal with. Alright, so we can come back here. And let's, yeah, so we don't have the heart equipped anymore. How many lives do we have? We have 2 lives. Good. We're fine. So he'll take us back, but we'll just stay on the ferry, and then when it goes back to the left, we'll go back to the normal route. Just like so. It looks the same, but the next screen's gonna be different. That jumping's gotta be pixel perfect? No, not really, Dissonance. Doesn't have to be that good. Yeah, Games Bloke, yeah, you should have played the Super Nintendo one, not the Game Boy Advance one. I don't really recommend any of the GBA ports, or sorry, SNES to GBA ports, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, they're solid games, but, you know, the screen size is usually kind of wonky. The colors are much more washed out. The sound isn't as crisp and clear typically, or it has just like these different qualities that just don't hold up as well. I mean, this goes out to anyone that wants to play like Donkey Kong Country or Super Mario World or Link to the Past, stuff like that. Play them on Super Nintendo. Don't play them on GBA. If you've never played them before, play them on Super Nintendo. You know, play the GBA ones after you're already familiar with them, but don't make them your primary versions to play. So, I would actually implore you to go back and play the Super Nintendo version. Let's go ahead and skip out on... Actually, you know what? We got 223. We're fine. Let's go ahead and buy some laurels. That's true. Yeah, the voice samples in Link to the Past on GBA. Yeah, also not recommended. It's just fine, Leo, but it's not how he should have experienced the game to begin with. It's just fine. Let's come in here, see what's in here. And definitely don't need that. We already have garlic. Garlic's not particularly useful. I mean, it's got its uses, but it's not worth the money, though. You're better off just saving your cash. What are we up to right now? 4 days. Okay. Yeah, we're doing okay. I think I could just jump down here. Yeah, just like that. You gotta watch out in some of these towns. Like, they give you platforms you can jump off of, but then, you know, the screen will scroll down, you'll just fall right into some water and die. There he is. Jeez. I was looking for you. There we go. So he just gave us the red crystal. There we go. So we need that to get to the last part of the game. Yeah, regarding the voice samples, a lot of Nintendo's ports back then had the voice samples. Like even, you know, Super Mario Advance, Super Mario Bros. 2 had tons of voice samples in him, or in it. Okay, so I actually don't need to go here. I don't know, let's come over here just anyway, just to check. And this might actually be where we get the bag. Let's see. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, no, there it is. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, so that guy just gave us a bag. It lets us carry more garlic and more laurel. So that actually was good. Because you can only carry a maximum of 4. But with the bag, you can carry more. And we're gonna get some free laurels in one of the upcoming mansions, so that's actually pretty useful. See, there's a similar graveyard you find later on that actually loops you back around to the right-hand side of the world. And I just wanted to make sure that this wasn't the one that does that. I didn't think it was. That's actually how you can get back to the normal part of the world after you get sucked up by a tornado at the cliff. Alright. So speaking of which, go ahead and use that right there. Level up. Good time. Good time for that. Should probably be cool. No, I don't need to. I was gonna say I should probably be grabbing these hearts, but no, I don't really need to. Alright, so this is where we're gonna get the Morningstar. I want to say it's probably somewhere down here in the bottom floor. I think it's on the bottom floor. So we're just gonna let this time roll out, and then we're gonna move over to the left. And get ourselves the flame whip afterwards. Unfortunately, we can't go inside houses at nighttime, even though the doors are clearly wide open. How long in real time is 7 days in Castlevania II? I don't know, Karnov. Games Bloke overpowers massively, or overlevels massively, and tanks like a madman. Yeah, see, I like to actually play the game. I like to actually like try to dodge enemies and stuff like that in Symphony of the Night. I don't treat it like a role-playing game where I just tank through things. I treat it more like an action game. Although I level up quite a bit in Symphony of the Night as well, you know? I'm usually at like level 60-something by the end of the game. Like, always, pretty much. And a lot of those levels come from the early parts of the game where I do actually grind out on specific enemies. Did you miss the Morningstar? No, you're about to witness its acquisition. We're almost there. It's all about Christogram. Yeah, if you feel like grinding out for it. It's kind of a pain to do that. It's not worth it. I mean, it's fun, like, going for, like, 100% on Symphony of the Night. Or at least 100% items and weapons and stuff like that. But I don't usually get the Christogram, because it always takes a long time to drop for me. I just feel like it's kind of a waste of time. I usually go for the Osafune Katana, which is in the Upside Down Castle. It's a freebie. I don't have to grind out for it. So that's usually my main weapon for, yeah, for the second half of the game. Okay, this isn't the one. Yeah, no, definitely Leo. Type 3. Yeah. Had something, had to cough something up. Oh yeah, Contra Advance was also pretty bad too. 200? Worth it. Hey Society, how are you doing, man? Welcome back. Dave? No. Well, I mean, yes. I mean, no. I mean, no, yes. Depends on how familiar you are with Castlevania II. If you know Castlevania II like the back of your hand, then it's really easy to play. Because you don't really need, you don't need to read anything. You just know where to go. Hey, Steven, thanks for that second super chat, man. The Morningstar will vanquish the curse. It will. Alright. Red crystal time. So we just duck here. Oh god, Earthworm Jim, Pitfall the Mayan Adventure. You know, Contra the Alien Wars EX. Not butchered completely, but a lot of the changes they made and whatnot just made it much less fun to play than the console versions. Man, what else was there? Yeah, R-Type 3 was just, oh, absolutely horrendous. Really bad conversion of the game. And I already got the stake, so I actually don't need to go this way. I think the stake is on the other side. Yeah, Leo, it's a pretty disappointing conversion. I don't recommend it. I've tried so many times over the years on stream, and I'm sure you'll see me try again. It's not worth it. Party poppers go off. 10,000 subs. It's closing in. Yeah, thanks guys. We just hit 9,000 today. So thanks everyone that hangs out and checks out the stuff here.
Yeah, Super Ghouls and Ghosts is alright. It's got some issues. The screen crunch is definitely one of them. And I will say, a lot of the arranged stages aren't very well thought out. But yeah, I would say it's definitely one of the better ports when it comes to third-party stuff. Yeah, arrange mode is kind of a pain though, because like it defaults to basically the hardest difficulty, which is really annoying. I don't know why they went that route. And then getting to the bonus stages or the arranged stages is quite a pain as well. Alright, so I actually need to go back up. Save features redundant if you're Austin. Hey, I think more features the better, to be honest with you. I'm all for features. I'd rather have more features than less features. Sorry, I'm just kind of like wandering around in circles because I'm looking at chat. Was R-Type 3's music ruined on GBA 2? I don't remember exactly, but I can tell you the gameplay itself was pretty butchered. The game just did not move well at all, and yeah, basically play Super Nintendo R-Type 3, then go play the GBA one, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, no, I'm there with you too, Drix, so I'm glad they added the content, for sure. And, you know, if you don't want the extra content and you want a more balanced difficulty curve, you know, you can still play, you can still play the original version and I think still have difficulty selections and whatnot. Hey, Phantom Photon, welcome back. We're nearing the later parts of Castlevania II, Japanese version. What do we have? 117 hearts and 3 lives. And 5 days, 10 hours. Not doing too bad. Alright, so just outside this place, we're going to get the Flame Whip as well. So we're going to work our way to the left, and then we're going to come back and go to the right, and that'll lead us to Dracula. Surrealton, yeah, I was actually kind of disappointed it's not on it either. I wanted to stream it a couple weeks ago, but yeah, they didn't include it. They didn't include any Famicom Disk System versions, unfortunately. They probably just didn't want to mess around with, you know, disk system emulation. That's my guess, anyway. Because they could have included the original disk system version of Castlevania 1, but didn't do that either. Alright, so we're just going to fall straight down here and come in here, which gives us the Flame Whip. We have to have the Morningstar for this, by the way. The glorious Flame Whip. That I think only makes a return in Rondo of Blood. And that's only when you use an item crash without having any sub-weapons. fire on fire. That makes sense, right? Alright, so... Oh, this is actually kind of bad. I only have one laurel. Oh, great. Yeah, we might actually die here. Ooh, that was just a little close. Morris, ultimate whip, also a flame whip? Yeah, it's a cheesy blue magical flame whip. Who cares about it? Not a badass big red orange flame like this is. Not a big monstrosity. Look at this. Yeah, just kill me. I don't really have much choice. Alright, no oak stake. Go back to holy water. $169. This should be our stake. Alright. We'll come back up and get another one on the way out, so I don't have to try to find the other one in the last mansion. Because this is... Oh, never mind. This is the last mansion. Never mind. We're actually really close to the end of the game. Holy crap. I thought there was another mansion, but no. This is it. I've already saved the president multiple times, office. It is fairly short, Game Eagle. Well, I mean, it's short if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, it's gonna take you a lot longer. Dissonance played Castlevania Adventure for 30 seconds and then turned it off. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. We played it on my recent Castlevania Anniversary Collection stream. And I got a game over partway through. And I was like, nope, I'm done. I am done. Alright, so we can talk to this guy. He gives us some free laurels. Ooh, he gives us all 8, too. I thought I had talked to him multiple times. Okay, so I'm just going to use my laurels right here, just in case. Because these spikes are really dangerous. Yeah, actually, I don't even need to get another oak steak, so we're not going to bother with it. Because we're done. We just have to go to Dracula now. Which is not that far away. Oak steak. Yeah, and one thing I haven't mentioned yet is you can attack enemies from behind, or with the back of your whip, I mean. They have to get really close to you. Okay, let's go back up. Kind of cool. Yeah, I have seen it. Probably not. No. Probably not worth a revisit. Alright. Use our laurels again. Not many invincibility frames in this game. Ah, screw it. Just use the laurels. I don't really need them now. I could use them on Dracula, but I think I'm going to try to fight Dracula normally, just so you guys can kind of see what that's like. Dracula in this game is just notoriously easy. Now, one thing that might be fun is trying to get to Dracula with, like, the chain whip. Trying to fight him with the chain whip. That could be interesting. We're at day 6. I actually wanna book it. I was gonna stick around and yeah, I was gonna stick around and maybe go to the church, but we're actually kind of pressed for time. Need to keep moving. Austin's new Let's Play video description. Castlevania II, chain whip only run, steak free, vegan styled in 60 FPS. That would be great, man. Alright, we're at 6 days and 6 hours, so I need to keep moving. We're almost there. I think last time I played this, it was only like 5 days, so I definitely did something different here. I think the initial grind in the beginning is what kind of held me back. Oops, did not mean to use those laurels. We're actually probably gonna die at Dracula. Yeah, so you have to have a couple items to get past this barrier. You need both the cross and well, all of Dracula's body parts, obviously. I think the cross is necessary to actually get into Dracula's castle. So, all right, this is the last stretch. Well, the time limit thing, Game Eagle, all that does is gives you a different ending. So I think it's a good thing, because it gives you this replay value. You know, you don't get the same ending every single time you play. It depends on how fast you go through the game. And all the endings are kind of interesting. Yeah, Jay, the problem with that forest to the left of the town is that the enemies are really dangerous. And you don't have the shield to block their projectiles. So you just kind of end up dying over and over again. I'm just gonna stick with this basic setup here. Alright, I'm gonna sit over here to the left. And just attack him like this. It's probably the first time anyone's seen anyone die at Dracula in this game. It's okay, I got my health back. That's what I wanted. First person ever to die at Dracula in Castlevania II. So normally what I do is I just use laurels and I just sit in the middle, on the middle pedestal, and just attack him. Yeah, that one death on Dracula triggers the worst ending immediately. I kind of want to just see what he does. I think it's just this over and over. We died twice at Dracula. Watch it be like, you're going all the way back to the beginning of the game. It's okay, every time I die here, the stream is extended by 2 minutes. That's 2 more minutes you guys get to hang out with me. We haven't even hit 2 hours yet. And it's only been about an hour and a half of actual gameplay. Yeah, I mean, I was intentionally just kind of sitting there trying to see what he does, because I'll be honest with you, I've barely ever seen his actual patterns. As I think is probably the case for most people that have played this game. I'm just gonna bounce a bunch of these around. Oh, actually I can't. I don't have any hearts because I got a game over. Ah. Just trying to find different ways to experiment here. Oh, I have 50 hearts. Hey, that's... I think that's new. In the North American version, you lose all your hearts when you get a game over. In this one, you start with 50. Huh. Okay. Oh, that's hilarious. Hey, how did you still hit me? Come on. Well, that was one way to kill him. I've never used those on him before. Oh, man. Oh, there you go, guys. That is the Japanese Castlevania II. Should be the best ending. Simon or Simon. Simon Belmont put an eternal period to the legend. Oh god, the English. Oh yeah, the English. Yeah, still good times though. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, really cool playing the Famicom version of this, you know, Famicom Disk System version, because you know we got that extra music or that different music, and yeah, really cool to experience that. I hope you guys enjoyed that. These last couple of days was the first time I've ever heard this soundtrack fully. Yeah, programmed with the following characteristics: invincibility, permanence, philosophy, masterpiece. Like, what? Sensitivity, excellence, ambivalence, flourish, admiration, warm hearts. Like, what? Superiority. Synchronism. Circumstance. And there we go. That is Japanese Castlevania II, also known as Dracula II in Japan. So I think it's game programmers, Steven, but the way they went about it is just really odd, really funny. So Jay says, I always enjoy Castlevania. It's what got me into your channel. You're one of the few YouTubers that does good Let's Plays of the series. Well, thank you, Jay. Yeah, it's one of my favorite gaming series out there, so, you know, I like to cover as much of it as I can. The goal is to try to get videos of, like, just about every Castlevania game on here, so lots more Castlevania to come. Yeah, really cool playing this different version of the game. Definitely worth checking out if you're a big fan of Castlevania 2. Yeah, 1987. Yeah, I like that animated title screen too. Kind of reminds me of the Super Nintendo Castlevania 4 or just Akuma Joe Dracula, where it's got like the blood dripping. So pretty cool. Is there a direct sequel to this in the timeline? Not Castlevania 3? I mean, not like a direct... Well, I mean, Castlevania has a timeline. Technically, Castlevania 3 comes before Castlevania 1. And then this directly follows Castlevania 1, because after you defeat Dracula, you get cursed by Dracula, and then Castlevania 2 starts. You know, this follows up directly on part 1. And then, you know, other Castlevanias later on, they follow up. I mean, they're not like direct sequels, so to say, but they, you know, they're in the same timeline. So, you know, you've got your Dracula X Rondo of Blood. In Dracula X Rondo of Blood, you actually go back. The first level is the town from Castlevania 2. So you actually go through that first town area, which is pretty cool. Nice homage to Castlevania 2. Then there was Castlevania Bloodlines and whatnot. So, yeah, more games in the series. I mean, they're all on the same timeline, so they do follow up. So, Leo, yes, I actually plan on streaming on Twitch tonight. I'm going to go live in probably the next half an hour or so. I'm going to stream some Dark Souls on Xbox 360. I've been getting the itch to play that game again. So, assuming I'm up for it, we're probably going to play Dark Souls for the whole night over there on Twitch. So, Jeff says, if anything, I could say that this cab was rare, but thought, nah. Oh, geez, he's going with the Fresh Prince stuff again. He was doing that the other night. Is Twitch like YouTube? Twitch is a streaming service for games, for gamers. And, I mean, I don't treat the streams the same over there. There's just more casual streams where I just play stuff because I don't have anything else to do. So, yeah. So, MD Mister says the book Dracula by Bram Stoker is considered canon in the Castlevania universe. What? Really? It's the first I've heard that. I know Castlevania takes influence from stories like that, but as far as treating it as canon, I'm not sure. I've never heard of that before. It's all good, Games Bloke. I mean, it's just live streaming. So, I mean, people can upload videos on Twitch, but no one does because it's really just a live streaming platform. That's what people go there for. So, if you're not really into watching live streams that often, you're not really missing much, to be honest with you. So, the Morris family is from the novel. Oh, okay. Did not know that. I mean, I haven't read the novel, but I've seen a bunch of different film adaptations. So the Morris name should be familiar to me in terms of, like, you know, Bram Stoker's Dracula. But, yeah, interesting. Draculax, the laxative for people on a blood-based diet. Quincy Morris was one of the hunters that killed Dracula in the novel. That's right. That's right. Okay. Harmony of Dissonance is the next game of the timeline. Ooh, boy. That game. Oh, that game. I keep putting that one off. Off and off and off and off and off. I just, I've only beaten it once, and I don't remember enjoying it at all. I do want to revisit it. I just have to be in the right mood. That's the problem. Harmony of Dissonance is set 50 years after Simon's Quest. Alrighty, guys. Well, I think that's pretty much gonna do it for me. So, this is a pretty short archive or short stream, so the archive shouldn't take long to process. I'll try to have it published sometime tomorrow, so hopefully early Sunday morning, kind of around the time that I publish my normal Let's Plays. I should hopefully have this one posted live. So for anyone that missed parts of it, or if you just want to go back and catch up on it again or rewatch it, the archive will be there. Yeah, so watch out for that. And no Let's Play this week, which is why I'm live streaming tonight. I think I'm going to start trying to take a break on Saturdays for live streams. I'm kind of just doing a lot of content lately, and need to take a bit of a break. Need to rest more. So we might not do a Saturday stream next week, but we will definitely still do the normal Thursday stream. But since there's no Saturday stream, there will be a Let's Play posted next week, so watch out for that. And also recorded a Q&A video for Patreon backers and YouTube channel members, so go check that out, guys. That'll be published publicly probably next week as well, but that's up now for patrons, for anyone that's curious about that. And I don't really have anything else to talk about or anything else planned. So yeah, Schnook, you missed the whole stream. Yeah, it took us about an hour and a half to go through the game. So it's a short game when you know what to do. So I had actually played through it entirely on Twitch the other night, and so the route was fresh in my head, so I figured we can just kind of like power through this one, get through it really quick. So, but yeah, guys, take it easy. Have yourselves a fantastic day or night, wherever you're in the world. And Carlos, Games Bloke, Schnook, Office, Phantom Photon, Drixel, Nist, Jeff, Powell, Leo, MD Mister, Steven. Thanks again for the multiple super chats, by the way, Steven. I really appreciate it, dude. It really helps me out here. Jay, Surrealton, and I think that's pretty much it for the last few minutes. Yeah, so thanks again, guys, for hanging out. Archive will be up in the next 12 hours or so, I'd say. And, until the next one, guys, you take it easy.